show that brings you all the insights and trends in the world of business. Samra Nahabwe, together with Pedson Mumbere and Samla Hanifa on this very business show. Now, maybe to begin with in our segment of trending today, and then this insight looking at how His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni recently welcomed delegations from the ESC delegation to the UAE delegation, and of course extending a warm welcome to investors from the United Arab Emirates and urging them to consider, investing in the country as he assures them of a favorable and a peaceful business environment. This was under the Undersecretary of Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development, as he expressed their keen interest in making investments, particularly in the field of agriculture. Now remember, agriculture is our backbone, so if the UAE is considering investing in that very sector, it should be a plus for us, right, Hanifa?
Yeah, it is.
So that means the UAE delegation is going to be led by His Excellency Rashid Abdul Karim,
yes,
the Undersecretary of Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development, who also expressed his keen interest in making investment, particularly in Uganda's agricultural sector, like you made it.
He actually even made certain statements in regards to that very sector, and if our producer could just play that clip so that we move ahead.
Agriculture is one of the challenges that we face in UAE, and we diversify. We travel to Africa, to Asia, to different places, to the Indian continent in that part, to find the resources to secure the food. And here we are in a place which is a basket of fruits, vegetables. So here I think, and the labor, as you mentioned in your speech, and as I was discussed yesterday, the labor is competitive. They are productive and affordable. So our investors could come. When I say our investors, I'm not talking about UAE only, I'm talking about those who use UAE's platform. Will come and see what is it available for them. Alhamdulillah, logistic-wise, airplanes, seas, it's not far away from here, the beaches and the ports. So it is time now to stop talking and go into action.
Absolutely.
This is our objective, Your Excellency.
It's only that the government has got a lot of work, because we are the ones who support these scientists with the government money, because the scientists have knowledge, but they don't have money. So it is the government to give them the money. But the government has got so many things, roads, what, so. But if they got partnership from private who have money, things will move much faster. Will move much faster. For the foods, for the medicines.
Actually, that very insight has reminded me of one recent headline that I read, that Uganda is the best, within the East African region, the best investment destination for the Abu Dhabi people, the Dubai or the Arabs from that area, United Arab Emirates. Uganda being that considered, and they already considering tapping into our biggest sector, that our backbone, that is agriculture. It should be a big milestone in years to come, I believe.
See, agriculture is like you said, it's our backbone, right? So we should have, I think, the biggest ground to contain these people who are coming from Abu Dhabi now and Dubai and Arab Emirates. You get the issue of tax holidays. Incentives, they are also going to be considered in that case. You understand? Much as some people are biased about them, but still we need to give them, because if agriculture is our backbone, we really need these guys to come and invest in this very department or sector.
Actually, our agriculture, Uganda, the fact that agriculture is the backbone of this country, what it's lacking right now is money. No one invests in agriculture. Government gives it less money. We find that our farmers, we produce stuff that again has aflatoxin. Our products are rejected by our neighbors here. Yet we have the best climate. We have the best climate compared to most of the African countries. Uganda has the best climate. Our soils Actually, we have the most fertile soils. I remember there's a time the Israelis came here and took a chunk of our land, the soil. They carried that soil and flew it to Israel.
To Israel.
The fact that only just taught me that Uganda has the best soil. It has the best. It has the best land to
good fertile.
Exactly.
Now, okay, of course, speaking with President meeting delegations, and in this aspect, looking at how President Museveni recently met with the EAC delegation, loading Pan-African leaders like Nyerere, Nkrumah for the EAC's growth. Of course, politics works hand in hand with business, and I think we should be having a clip that is playing in the stream so that we can get to know. But basically, the conversation that was made in regards to the meeting that happened between the EAC Secretariat, Dr. Mathuki, and the President, and of course was also attended by the Minister for EAC Affairs and other ministers within that aspect. Basically, we're talking about politics, but I believe there should have been some harmonization in regards to what we should anticipate in regards to the EAC region. Perhaps we should be able to see some fruits from COMESA and SADC and the other trade blocks that are meant to, develop the trade within the region. Yeah.
Now, I have a problem with the EAC at the moment. You get, much as they met and then discuss a lot of things. The problem comes when you find these trade wars between Kenya and Uganda, Sudan and Uganda, and yet we're in the same block. This is the African block, you get. So that's where the problem is. I wish if they could meet and then discuss those trade wars and find solutions for
Well, to be specific, His Excellency was lauded. His Excellency, I mean President Museveni, was lauded for his support of unity. They call him the peacemaker.
Yeah.
He has tried to harmonize. Actually, the President of Kenya calls him the father of the region.
Yeah.
So perhaps he has tried to unite the rest of the presidents. I don't know where the problem is.
President Museveni tries as much as hard. Like, he tries to bring all these African countries. It's just like the late Gaddafi. He tries to bring these African leaders to try to cooperate in terms of trade, in terms of whatever, everything. He wants this united Africa, which is not happening. It is just on the paper. It is not in the reality. That is very unfortunate, but he tries. I recommend him for that. Our president really tries to bring these things to.
Do other presidents adopting to these methods?
I don't know, they just don't trust. I don't know.
But it should be noted that this meeting kind of just highlighted politics and thanking the past presidents that tried to, uphold peace and, stability within the region. Perhaps, that's pretty much what they said, but I'm really hoping that there is some business that was discussed. But still in trending today, I believe Hanifa has a story in regards to birth control. Let's hear it.
No. Still in trending today, concerns have been voiced by the public and various stakeholders regarding the Director of Curative Services proposal to make birth control methods available to girls aged 15 and older. This issue has been brought to the notice of legislators who have labeled it as a harmful action targeting the youth. You guys, what is not happening in this country? These are doctors, but they are suggesting these methods, birth control methods, for 15-year-old girls. You all know the dangers of these birth control methods. Women have come out. They have affected very many women. They have affected so many girls in the age of 18. Now they want it.
They're related to infertility issues.
Exactly. They want girls of 15 years old to start having this. Our producer can give us the first part of this birth control age concerns from the Legislative Council. I hope they.
Right, Honorable Speaker, today I called the Director, Curative Services in the Ministry of Health, and we discussed it. He said he was suggesting, and then the monitor wrote as if it was already a policy. He was suggesting, just listen, that we have so many teenage pregnancies. Everybody who is sleeping with these girls knows that they are young and he's defiling them, right? They are being married off to 65-year-old men. You know that in our societies. So he suggested that should we lower the age for family planning to 15, but he was like asking the audience, what do you think? He is a medical doctor. He has seen he weighed actually the options. Let the children get pregnant, die at birth, while giving birth. Or let them take family planning if we can't avoid it. So because it is in the society.
So Honorable Minister, you are confirming that it's not yet an approved policy?
It's not approved at all.
Thank you.
He just gave a suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, please. I need order. I need order. Now, honorable colleagues, our prayer is that the devil doesn't find a way, and such as thoughts should never even come into minds of our people, because it's giving up. That's formalizing defilement. That's clearly saying we have failed, therefore these people had failed. We should even know, because we would now know the recipients, okay, who would be using those substances. So I really pray, Honorable Minister, that we would rather strengthen the monitoring and ensuring we fight this vice than legitimizing it by giving such services.
Thank you so much for showing us that. As I was saying, Ministry of Health has come out to deny these allegations. They're like, it was just a suggestion suggesting to Ugandans, to the public, because young girls have been dying during birth, trying to give birth, but still legalizing these birth control methods for young girls of 15 years of age is like legalizing the immorality in school. Like it is okay. Children can even go and get. I
think that's right. I don't think you should starting from 18 years and above, and I think so. So those people who are supposed to be given contraceptives are supposed to be 18 years and above.
Exactly.
Not 15.
18, you're exposed. You're really exposed to this whole thing. And
so we are getting to another story, the same health story, by the way.
In that aspect,
yes,
yeah.
in the health sector.
Yes,
still in the health sector. If my producer can make some splits of what the minister says, Uganda is set to lose billions as 7.5 million COVID jabs are set to expire. I remember Dr. Ruth Acheng, the Minister of Health, has issued a warning that at least 7,567,200 doses of COVID-19 vaccine will expire by February 2024 if the country's uptake of the vaccine doesn't grow. Remember, the government of Uganda had already invested a lot of money to buy all these vaccines.
Yeah.
But
some of them were donated. I don't think
some of them were donated, but we still have some here, and people are not going for vaccination at the moment. So that means we still have them in stores.
It's only illogical.
And they're set to expire.
It's only illogical.
So that means if they expire, we are going to lose 7.5 million. You get? That's the amount of money. So the Minister Acheng informed the Parliament that the vaccine's uptake in Uganda still stands at 59%. If the population aged 18 and above that was supposed to be vaccinated, well, among children aged 12 and 17, only 6% has received all these two jabs. So that means we still have all those jabs and vaccines and in stores which are set to be, which are going to be expired by, and that's a lot of money that we're going to lose in that regard.
I think the question to ask here is, do we still have COVID, or do we have a sense of it still around us? That's the first question. If there is none, then I think the Ministry of Energy, with all its technology, should see what to use COVID for. Okay. Perhaps it could work in animals, I don't know. Actually, if they do not want to lose that money, or maybe there is insurance. Actually, you never know. We should be insured. If they're insured, then the loss can't count. But if they are counting 7.5 million, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot.
But it is only logical, because you cannot force me to go for COVID jabs if I'm not seeing the risk.
Exactly. Actually, you should also take in what you should take into account is that what you should ask yourself is that why are so many Ugandans not vaccinated? The ones who got the vaccine shared some side effects with the ones that have not yet gotten the jab, and automatically, my mother refused. Up to now, I begged. I received 2 jabs, but very many people either they stopped on one or they didn't take at all because they were getting information from these people who have already taken the jabs. First of all, the jab gives you headache, and then after your arm pains, and then
the Minister
whatever.
of Health also added that if Shakira, you can play that footage in the background, please do it. The Minister Cheng also added that although the World Health Organization declared that COVID-19 is no longer a global threat, but there is still a need for Ugandans to continue putting these measures to protect. You never know. You never know, something can happen.
But also there are questions on whether these jabs actually work. I've seen an interview of a British journalist asking the CEO of Pfizer that you knew that these vaccines were actually not 100% effective on the people, but still you went ahead and gave them out. Why? And this guy,
it was a moment of crisis. I really cannot blame
you
them.
can't
People
blame
were
them.
losing lives. So I mean, it's
You
like
can't
when
blame
you're
them, but these
dying
people
and someone kind of shows you a solution, even if you're not sure, you would take it because you're desperate.
these guys were given a lot of money.
So you can just say that technology just overrode on us, and then people just took advantage, and there is money that is now at,
So it should be noted that Uganda allocated 560 million shillings. That's
a lot of money that was spent.
$160 million in 2021-2022 financial year for the purchase of these COVID-19 vaccines. So you can imagine.
That's the budget for
Actually,
agriculture and tourism together.
Part of that money has not yet been paid because that most of the
Is
money.
it dollars, shillings?
Some of the money was actually borrowed.
$160 million.
What?
So in our Ugandan currency, that's 560 billions. You get. So this is the money that we used to buy or to purchase from those jab vaccinations. So if they are set to be expired, because the uptake of taking jabs is getting down, then that's a big loss.
Yeah.
It's
It's
really
a very
big.
big loss.
By the way, have you received yours?
That's a story for another day, but
That means you're one of the Ugandans who has refused to be immunized.
I took mine, but I took mine. But that means maybe they purchased the access. Right? They
Excess.
purchased many more which we cannot.
So many Ugandans have not taken these jabs.
But that's, like I
including
said,
you,
I think,
Edson.
I really hope that maybe perhaps there was some sort of insurance to cover some part of the cost, because that's quite a huge amount of money. But maybe proceeding with our business today and looking at a segment which is corporate news, and in this aspect, looking at refugees as an economic potential in the country. Now listen to this. Uganda has been ranked as the most or the best preferred destination for refugees in Africa, the best. And in Africa, and in the whole world, it is probably the third. Now, the international community, and in this regard, we are looking at UNHCR, we are looking at Red Cross, we are looking at World Food Program. They have donated, or this is the money that comes in annually, $485 million. You can imagine, it is coming in the economy. Now, if you have a business mind, you should know what this means. It is coming in Uganda. Oh, this is the money that is coming in Uganda annually. $485 million is coming in from the international community, the donors, Red Cross, World Food Program, UNHCR, and the rest. Now, what is PSFU saying? It's calling on to government, it's calling on to the private sector, the business private sector, to come and take advantage of this money. There are very many businesses to invest in, because of course these refugees are going to need clothing, they're going to need forex once they receive remittances from their from their home countries. They will need forex, they will need food, they will need airtime, they will need all these supplies. So a study that was carried out informs us that this very money, or this very the uptake of refugees we have in the country will help us, or has potential in agribusiness, financial access, renewable energy initiatives, and PSFU is saying that this is a goal, or this is an opportunity for Ugandans to create jobs and make money. So Ugandan business people that can, access areas where refugees are, the areas, because the refugees are now in south, north, western parts of the country, and there's money that is going to be disseminated. This is quite a huge amount of money. This is more than the money that even goes in health, education sector, and even tourism together, all those sectors that, kind of make money for Uganda. So the manufacturing, private sector, business community, there is a chunk of money to come and utilize, and that's what private sector is doing, is saying 1.5 million,
Okay, now that we have all this area to host all these refugees, what exactly should look at? Because even taking care of them is also another big problem that we have here in the country.
I think we're going to get all these insights immediately after this break, because I have a clip that is prepared that is having all the research and expertise that you need to know in regards to this information. Is there food now? Yes.
Smart 24, driving business.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292 hash. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest.
Tubaniriza Mjinja Central Market twidi wano okubanga twedusa abantu okuwaayo kumbaga ya mwenemu nga bakozesa momope kati je Mjinja Central Market sobola okubanga tuwayana abatyamye momope neri kwogeza abantu obwama
tamu ndaga otemu mukaga otemu itanga otemu sita onige isatu onige ash onige yes
ayi nga tuwayo tikashi nga tuwayo nga tubita ku momope enkola ya MTN niga 70
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cash back every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165 *3#. Smart 24, driving business.
The foundation committed to leveraging private sector engagement to generate decent work opportunities for youth and individuals in need, PSFU, says with over 1.5 million refugees equipped with relevant skills and a combined annual consumption expenditure of $485 million, there is a significant potential for agribusiness, financial access and renewable energy initiatives in areas like Vidividi, Nachivale and Kampala. The research carried out about private sector investment and youth work opportunities around persons of concern and host communities in Uganda provides insights into the economic, social, cultural factors at play, shedding light on current conditions and future investment prospects.
The model has changed, and because of the model changing and the business environment, PSFU saw this as an opportunity to engage with the development partners in which the money that is injected in the refugee and refugee host communities. We have set up a desk officially to support the refugees, but also to support Ugandan businesses to take advantage of that opportunity. That desk is going to be domiciled at PSFU, and it is essentially established to facilitate, to inform, and also to empower business people to take advantage of this opportunity. Refugees, for example, is going to be given, let's say, $1,000 every 2 weeks. That $1,000 includes their upkeep, food, transport, accommodation, airtime, etc., etc. They have to spend that money. So if you are given $1,000, so Forex bureaus will emerge in the refugee areas. So Ugandans can provide Forex bureaus. But they want food, they want plastics, they want saucepans, they want mattresses. Ugandan manufacturers have these goods, they have these services. They want to move from one place to another. So we have cars, we have buses, we have communities, we have all these transport facilities, lorries. So there's a whole supply chain available.
Cecilia Kengoro Mutabanura, an investment specialist at PSFU, highlights significant constraints including the scarcity of information, documentation and concerns about refugee mobility.
As far as constraints are concerned, I think the biggest one is lack of information. Really, nobody has taken time to understand. Of course, there have been studies, but somehow they're limited in terms of their reach. And they, as a business community, they have not taken a lot of time to really appreciate what lies in wait for them. So accessing this information, making it more available, which from now on will be available on our website, is the start to help them understand there's actually an opportunity here. And of course, we know as businesses, once they know this opportunity exists, then they take the time to actually learn more about it. So first of all, information. I would say also limitations around documentation and that fear that refugees will move, that they're very mobile. So there are issues of mistrust, of course, not understanding the people, the language barrier, and a few others.
So yeah, PSFQ is saying Ugandans come and take up businesses in regards to retail business, banking, manufacturing, hairdressing, all those small-scale businesses that we think refugees might really need.
So let me ask, all these businesses that the PSFQ is calling for are targeting these refugees, right?
Yes.
So that means those who have money can go invest there, target these people, these refugees,
yes.
And then we can make money. You see,
yes.
Quid pro quo, we help each other.
That is money that is going to remain in the economy.
Okay. My only issue with this whole thing, yes, Uganda, we are second in Africa after Ethiopia, but look at the host communities where these refugees are in West Nile. For example,
Palarinia.
Yeah?
I've ever gone there.
You've gone there.
Yes.
You see, the host community is crying out loud. We have not been helped. You bring refugees, they take over our land, they take over our businesses in the markets. They are the ones there. What about us, the local people? It's like you are taking, yes, we welcome these people.
That is the problem now.
Yes, we welcome them. But the people, the Ugandans themselves.
It's the same thing with investors that they give incentives. Now, I think Ugandans really need to take the mantle and utilize these opportunities. Remember, these refugees are given something like $1,500 to $2,000
per month.
2 weeks, that's a lot of money. Every after 2 weeks, perhaps in a range.
I've seen the Somalis get their money at CPS.
You get this, that's a lot. You know, that's a lot of money. So of course, and money is power. Who doesn't know that? They will want to invest. The other day they were even talking about that they want land, just that because there's a certain criteria that they need to follow, to own some of the asset management, and then of course some other constraints they mentioned have to do with their mobility. There is a chance that maybe they might leave the country. But that has changed, because whenever there is money, they stay. And the international community has been really so generous. When I mentioned like UNHCR World Food Program, World Food Program has already donated something like $40 million already as part of the $485 million. So you can see the money that is going to come in the economy. I'm wondering if this money has been coming in the country annually, what has it helped? Because I mean, look at our economic, the state of economic. They are saying that next financial year, the economy is projected to grow by 6%. Look at the money that is coming in.
Who manages that money? Where does that money
go? If it has been coming in annually, this is actually a revelation.
But you should ask ourselves, where does that money go, and who is in charge of that money? First of all,
Office of the Prime Minister.
Development in these host communities. There should be full development. These host communities should have electricity, should have hospitals. But they are crying. They even come and say, these people are only taking care of these refugees and they're abandoning us. They come and grab our land. They start farming, and for us, we don't.
They're not grabbing our land.
They are grabbing their land.
I've not heard of land grabbing.
They grab their land.
Let me tell you, this is how the country is benefiting to host these refugees.
Yes, the country is benefiting, but Ugandans.
But you see, for us, we are welcoming. Ugandans are welcoming.
Ugandans are.
These people. Once you get problem, and we have a president who is a Pan-Africanist.
Yeah.
Did you know that, the two of you? So if other people are getting problems, like say the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ethiopia, whatever, and people want peace, if they come here and we settle them here, that's also good. There's a way out. And these people come along with a lot of money, by the way.
You shouldn't.
International funding comes in.
Yes, it comes in, but where does that money go? We need that money to benefit Ugandans, the local person. Omuntu Wawansi, how does he or he benefit?
And if I will always be on the other side of the argument.
Exactly.
In regards to looking at what's still in company news or corporate news, and in regards, of course, looking at community development, still I don't know how to pronounce this name, but it is in Karenga district in Karamoja region, in northern Karamoja. They recently witnessed a significant agricultural event organized by Sasakawa Africa under the Agricultural Market Support Program funded by World Food Program. The primary objective of this event was to bring together farmers and various stakeholders within the agricultural value chain. I like this, and I'm going to tell you why I like it. To provide them with valuable insights and optimal agricultural marketing and post-harvest practices. Notable participants included the district council, technical officers, and the like. And why I tell you I like this is because Karamoja region has, for a long time now, been known for cattle rearing. I like that now they are trying, to incorporate or welcome or embrace other forms of making money, because it's a poverty-stricken region and everyone knows that. So if this is what His Excellency has been trying to educate to them: stop cattle rustling and change channels of making money. So if they are now looking, because of course we already know they do not have fertile soils, that's true, but I like that they are trying to shift their mindset to other forms of earning money, of livelihood, of getting a better livelihood, of another economic activity, which is farming, other than cattle rearing. And I think we do have a clip in regards to that. I think we should play it, and then we come and analyze it in detail. You're going to call your Over 1,000 farmers attended an event that primarily focused on showcasing post-harvest technologies to encourage farmers to adopt to these innovations. The resident district commissioner, Mr. Ochailap Geoffrey Philbert, expressed support for Sasakawa's alignment with government's initiatives to promote sustainable agriculture and emphasized the importance of mechanization for increased production and improving livelihoods. In the same light, farmers noted that participating in group bulking has significantly improved their lives and those of other farmers in their groups. Many have been able to afford education for their children, enhance their nutrition, and adopt a savings-oriented lifestyle.
They are talking about agriculture. Agriculture is one of the key factors that can make the country to develop. Now that Sasakawa has come to address the gap of agriculture in our district, we welcome them.
They are able to get a good money for using a tractor.
So what is your message to Sasakawa?
So that's why I'm emphasizing on Sasakawa that if there is a way, Sasakawa together with World Food, if there is a way they can give us a tractor, we can improve our life.
Julius Sesanyo, the project coordinator at Sasakawa, highlighted that farmer organizations affiliated with Sasakawa in the region have collectively bulked over 350 metric tons of maize, with a portion sold to the World Food Programme and other markets. This has led to increased income, improved household finances, and a higher quality of life for farmers. Additionally, the trend of farmers transitioning from cattle keeping to farming in Karamoja is on the rise, fostering a business-oriented mindset within farming communities with a focus on services, markets, and capacity building.
The linkage, the provision of linkage, so that the farmers can get to know where to access the inputs. So after the capacity building, the trainings, we tell them where they can buy their grow inputs, like the taplings, the pix bags. They are linked to those services, so they are able to buy on their own from the input shops and also to the market. We basically link them to the markets, then they do the negotiations with the market people, the contract engagements with them, they manage on their own, because we want to promote a system that works between the farmers and the markets and the service providers when we are not there. So we don't provide the taplings, we don't provide the pix bags, we only link them to where they can get the services. In Karamoja, we know the predominant economic activity has been cattle keeping, but we see a trend of the farmers moving into crop production. And this is evident by the increasing number of grains being bulked each year and each season that goes by. So that is an alternative way of income generation for the household, not looking at only livestock, but also crop comes in. And then too, there is an element of business mindset entering into the farming communities, that when they think of bulking, then they know there is a business sense in it, because it comes in with the expenses of managing some costs. So there is a business sense entering into the minds of the people in the farmer organizations, for instance.
Now, for some time now, the Karamoja region has been embracing farming practices, and now I like that they have transitioned to better practices, post-harvest practices, to protect their produce, because we all know, I mean, it's a poverty-stricken environment or district, or of course, northern, Uganda is known for that. But I like that they are incorporating that so that they can have their own food. I think World Food Programme, I really need to commend them, and of course the funders that are really trying to do anything in regards to that. Cattle rustling has got to end.
Yeah, it has.
Nothing has to end, and it's also graze you up, okay, but also do some sort of agriculture, food, graze as you eat. prices you're eating, nothing can stop customers cattle wrestling in northern Uganda and the entire Karamoja region.
Actually, when we were growing up, we were deceived that Karamoja, the north, the land is so dry, it cannot grow any crops. I was introduced to that part of Karamoja by a certain legislator. He told me, he's from Karamoja, he told me, if I show you what we plant, we even plant matoke. I was surprised that even matoke grows in that area. I was so shocked that these guys can plant. It is the mindset change that needs to be put in these people. Anything can grow in Karamoja as long as they are facilitated, irrigation, and these other forms of agricultural farming practices. If the government puts all that and facilitates those people can grow so many things, and then don't depend on begging all the time, because all of them they are like, we don't have food, this drought, because all the time they are concentrating on these animals and whatever. Like that. Exactly.
So we are getting to company and product.
No, we are looking at product profile now.
Product profile. At this very time, we're going to look at coffee, UCDA. So according to Uganda Coffee Development Authority report for September 2023, Uganda earned over 3.5 trillion from coffee exports in 2022-2023 as farmers enjoy prevailing good prices. You said there's good price for coffee, right, at the moment. So this represents an increase of 5%. And 7% increase in quantity and value, respectively. I think we'll be having that split running and showing you how coffee is doing in Uganda. But I have some sort of data here that I'm going to share with you. But of course, Flora, I have something you can say about coffee, and some of you before I get into this data here.
I like that you've asked, because coffee, when you speak of coffee, I mean, coffee and gold are currently competing for the biggest export of Uganda right now. Okay. So there's really so much happening in regards to coffee. And if you mention coffee, my God, there are lots of conversations to have. At least for the last year and the beginning of the year, I've attended some seminars in regards to that. There are issues in regards to sustainability, market access, farmers, the issue of middlemen, the issues of value addition, the issues of domestic consumption. So maybe to just begin from the roots on the seed and what is grown in the coffee. Well, for some time now, of course, the stakeholders and key government officials have tried to play their role in regards to equipping farmers to the best practices on how they can have a better bean processed and through all those stages until it reaches the time of export. But then the conversations have been happening on what really Uganda is, what suits, and so certain parts of people want export of soluble coffee. Others are saying we can maintain the way we've been exporting. So conversation is in that regard, and then also recently the Uganda Connect opened a coffee hub or coffee something in Serbia. You know, Serbia, the small state there in Europe. You get people in Serbia are going to be drinking coffee at a certain rate just from immediately, like straight from Uganda to Serbia. So there has been some coffee tourism like we see in other countries. Okay. I recently interacted with Kabushenga, the former ED of Vision Group, and he told, that man really has insights. He's a coffee farmer himself, so he really has some insights in that regard. And then he was telling us, if the tourism sector can invest like South Africa has done with its wine, something like coffee tourism would be able to even sail when we are even still in the country. Coffee tourism, branding, because we have the best Arabica coffee from the mountains of Elegance, Robusta coffee that we have from Kisoro and Kabale and Tungamo and all the other areas. Yes, that's precisely. So I'm really not shocked, Pedersen, in regards to those statistics, because at least there has been some development from sector players in regards to incorporating everything we need.
So Uganda's coffee export for the coffee was 2022-2023, of course, totaled to 6.14 million bucks worth. 940.36 million. That's approximately 3.52 trillion, and that's the money that is coming into the country. You get? So in 2021, I mean to say 2022, Uganda produced 5.86 million bags worth 877.66 million in the previous coffee year. So all this money, I'm talking about all this money coming to the country here. You see? So we should buy this and get to grow coffee if the country needs to grow. Now, if you look at the individual exporter for performance, the report reveals that Yuga Coffee Uganda Limited maintained the highest market shares of 16.62% compared to 14.45% in August. You see, so there's growth everywhere. We're recording a growth. So out of the 52 exporters who performed, 34 exported Robusta coffee only, while 7 exported Arabica coffee only. Everywhere there's growth. Everywhere there's growth. So like you say, in Kabare, we grow Robusta. If you go to Mountain, Renzori,
Kisoro, Ntungamo, Mushenyi.
I think this is something we should do.
Now let me tell you what the ambassador of EU said about Ugandan coffee. He said, Ugandans, you're great. You have the best coffee. I mean, you're boasting and it's okay to boast. You're great. You're great up there. Your game is up there. But we have a problem of domestic consumption. We do not take our own coffee. We don't. People in Europe and other areas where we're exporting our coffee are taking it more than we Ugandans. The domestic consumption is still really lagging, and then also issues that are still in the coffee sector. I can mention of issues of middlemen. They're eating the biggest chunk of farmers, and of course the farmers are the ones that grow. So if they are not happy, then you're not going to have better produce. I can assure you of that.
That's it. Now let us look at the coffee exports by destination. I want to show you where our coffee is going, where we export, where we take our coffee. You get? So Italy maintained the highest market share. Italy maintained the highest market share with 35.11% compared to 30.27%.
Last financial year.
Automatically, that's last month.
Last month. Okay.
We look at September report, UCDA report. You see, it's not a bad case. So that was followed by Germany at 22.48%. That's approximately 11.00%. Sudan at 9.16%. Then India. We're also taking our coffee to India. At 7.0%.
Shouldn't be surprised.
Then the last one is Algeria at 4.25%. That is our coffee exports by destination. I hope this is contributing to our country's GDP. I'm happy about that.
You're happy, but the president disagrees. Actually, I would concur with the president. The president says we need to add value to our coffee so that it is exported in a processed form for us to get more money. Right now, what we are getting is not enough. It is little. We are being cheated in the process, yet we are the ones that grow. We do the hard work. The farmers do the hard work. But what they get is less than the efforts they put in. And he's right somehow. He's right. Whether you can, I know the farmers are a bit scared about this whole thing. I hear if the president comes in and then our coffee is going to be. But the president is right. Let us process our own coffee. We export it in a processed. Have you ever gone to a supermarket and bought any coffee from outside? How much it costs? But
and I think our revenue earnings would also simultaneously increase if we added value.
Exactly. We need to add value to our product.
And I think we need to add value to our process.
I think before we get to the word of adding value to our coffee, you see, we are not yet there. We don't have the technology at the moment. But that can't stop us from doing business at the moment. We need to get ready. After getting ready, then we can come. I also support the president's move to add value. It's good, but let us first do what we can manage now at the moment. If we can do business, let's do business. Let us send to
perhaps once we integrate to that level, we might beat Ethiopia as it's the best or the highest or the leading exporter of coffee as of now. But let's just move into our last segment, as our time is well spent, and looking at our CEO's insight. The Ministry of Finance in this regard has embarked on climate finance mobilization to address the effects of climate change and mitigation approach. In our CEO's insight today, we caught up with Maris Wanyera, the Assistant Director, Debt and Cash from the Ministry, who broke down the modalities on how to get this money. We're looking at carbon trading, right?
Carbon trading and very many things, how we can benefit from that.
Yeah, perhaps let's first look at this clip, like for 2 minutes, and then we can integrate it.
Of the climate finance, national climate finance strategy that was developed by the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. And this strategy is to help us come up with strategies that will guide the mobilization of financing to address the impact, the adverse impact of climate change on Uganda's economy. We are looking at the possibility, looking at the different options in as far as climate finance is concerned to address our both adaptation and mitigation approach towards the impact of climate change on the economy. We are going to look at direct financing from the different climate finance windows, financing in form of loan grants specifically. We will also look at loans when it comes to investing in big infrastructure like irrigation that can support adaptation in as far as ensuring that government continues producing all year round. At this period where we are having, in situations like where we have drought, we need to be able to continue producing. We know drought is one of those effects of climate change. We are also looking at accessing other windows, new non-traditional windows, like in the future, if we are ready to do so, issue the social bonds or green climate bonds where possible, and look at how we partner with the private sector.
I like that Uganda, has started incorporating practices in other countries, in other developed countries, like carbon markets, where people voluntarily choose to, trade in carbon trade agreements to just, have a better mass on reducing emissions. And I think this is a good call because we have really experienced, we have felt the pain of climate change at least for the last month.
Okay, now, but for the carbon trading, they're saying if you have the ability, you can grow your own trees. How do you call it in your local language?
Afforestation, planting of trees.
In English, it's called forestation.
No,
how do you call it chibira in
it's a forest.
It's a forest.
Yes.
So if you can grow that forest or whatever, then it will help in reducing the emissions, and you can get money through carbon trading.
Yes, actually, the best trees are the pine trees. Yeah, they are expensive. They even buy them. Why do you think many Ugandans are growing now pine trees? Because of that.
I think we shall definitely be having a broader conversation in regards to carbon trading in the near future, of course, because it's a conversation I believe we have not exhausted enough. But for now, I think our time is well spent here today on Business Today. As always, thank you so much for having joined us for our segments, Trading Today, Product Profile, Company, Corporate News, and of course the last one, CEO's Insight. I'm Rana Habwe and Pedson Mumbere.
Of course, I'll be bringing much more stories regarding women in business and what they're supposed to do to improve on their businesses. That's the next program.
Interesting. And I think Anifa will be bringing us more insights from Parliament and all that drama that we need to know. But next week, I promise to have a story in regards to illicit financial flows. Apparently, we do not have an estimate on how much we are losing in illicit financial flows, but in Africa, as a broader perspective, the recent statistic that we have is that Africa is losing $88.6 million in regards to that. So perhaps that's a conversation that you should anticipate if you're going to tune in on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to watch Business Today. As always, good evening.